Hello, Eric, you monster, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. Tonight's episode is brought to you by the leaky dinghy in the harbor. Come on, it's food.
My grandma got diagnosed
What
with
happened
that.
last time?
It was just brought to you by a boat that's on the
They met the Sphinx. They met a fox person, Arj, and he led them just directly to the Sphinx, who is named Hirazi, and her very well-lit, interesting, cool lair that she resides in. And Shade found out that she is from Shayteria's Talai, and that she is not, in fact, a shifter. She is actually a Kitsune, and that when her hometown was being brutally destroyed, Hirazi tried to save as many woodland creatures as possible and flung them to different times and areas. So she was flung thousands of years in the future into a forest at 3. And then Shade didn't process that very well, so she walked away. Ari asked if she was okay, and she said no.
Esri, having not read a lot of mythology, got passive-aggressive with the Sphinx.
And called her
He
darling.
was so rude.
Do
He
not
was
let the
so
history
rude.
books
darling.
forget
Darling.
darling.
Oh my goodness.
Esri has also had a hard day. We should give him some slack.
Yeah,
Boy, I hope he
This
tells
is-
the Sphinx
this thing
that.
is just. This thing is just isn't the scariest thing he's seen today or the third.
That's accurate. That's very accurate. It's been a scary day. So that's where we will pick up. We are in the clearing where Hirazi's dwelling is. Tower-ish thing. It's not easily described because it's weird looking. And Shade is not okay.
But she's got Cal by her side.
It's true. Where's Pog in all of this?
Kind of hanging back when it saw that that Ari was walking with such intent to catch up. It was mostly just an escort for Shade's sake as she was walking away in a tizzy, and now just kind of hanging back. He's going to return back into the dining area or whatever that great room was that we were in after a short while.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about it?
All right.
Need that on a t-shirt. It's the tagline for Khyber Shards. Do you want to talk about it?
She is avoiding eye contact with you and is petting Cal, because that's her security blanket.
Cal is shifting his head around to get your hand in exactly the right spot.
I woke y'all up. I woke y'all up in the middle of the night to go save a creature that isn't in trouble. And you and Esri have had terrible experiences that you didn't have to have. And it was all because I decided to pursue this nightmare, which turns out to just be my memories. And I promised I wouldn't forget you, and I did. And all of this could have just... I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
I know that you obviously apology not needed but accepted. My ticket was going to get punched sooner or later, and so you don't need to carry that weight. And yeah, you woke us up, but Shade, you know that we all care about you. We were going to be here even if there wasn't some imminent danger. This is something that was hanging over you and has been for a while.
But it was selfish. All we found out was that I'm from a dead city in the Feywild. Like, that doesn't do anything. It just put y'all in danger. What a terrible reason to drag y'all out here.
I wouldn't do anything different. Knowing what I know is going to happen to me, knowing the end goal, because you've been having nightmares for as long as I've known you. Like, this has been something that's festered and weighed on you and kept you up at night. And sure, yeah, Harazi wasn't in danger. But you know who you are, where you're from, who your people are. And that's important. It's important to me. I'm glad that I could help you find that. Because it's important. And
is it? I don't even know what that means. What? Kitsune are the jerk faces from fairy tales who just make stuff up.
I mean, I feel like any entity in a fairy tale is going to be reduced to like an essence. I'm sorry. I'm sorry
Why are
that
you sorry that you no wait.
I'm sorry that you have to feel this way. And I know that there's no way for you to not feel this way right now. And it's okay that you feel this way. I forgive you for forgetting me. That's not on you. And it won't happen again. It's not Shade. It's the fault of a bad person. A bad entity that likes to meddle with things. And
I was so sure that I wouldn't. I kept the journal. I took it with me. I carried it around. And I did. It just... to be able to be manipulated so easily like that. It feels terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not on you anymore, though. You don't need to worry about it. And What do you want to do here? This is... You've just learned a lot. And I don't know if she has more for you. If you want to go, it's a long walk, but we can go. But Shay, you don't need to be sorry to me. I would have done it all over again.
If I had just ignored, if I had just not said anything, you and Ezri and Pog would have been safer.
I mean, there's no guaranteeing that. We tend to get ourselves into trouble an awful lot. And also, now, because I went through what I went through, you, Ezri, and Pog are safer. The Forgotten Prince isn't going to mess with your minds anymore. Like, because of what you did, you've helped out Pog and Ezri. And yourself. And me, to a certain extent. I hated that I might be forgotten. So without you, this wouldn't have happened. And I'm glad for it. I know you don't believe me. You're giving me the look to see if I'm lying to you. And I'm not. Jade, I'm being 100% genuine. The worst possible thing in the world to me was to be completely and totally forgotten by everyone. And that happened, and we dealt with it, and now it won't happen again. And I have to do a few things for the Forgotten Prince in exchange, but he has lifted that curse off of me. So.
What do you have to do?
Steal some stuff for him. I'm not sure what, but that was the deal. So. But it's better this way. It's a lot better.
Is it?
Yeah. Because he's no longer taking stuff from you and Pog and Ezri and literally every person that I've known. Like, I was the one who messed up. I was the one that lied to my dad. I should be bearing the punishment. Not everybody around me.
Do you want to talk about it?
You know, I'm still processing and trying to figure out where I landed on everything, but no, I'm good right now, Shade. I just want to make sure that you're okay. And if not, try to remedy that in any way that I can.
I don't even know what questions to ask. Like, I want to go home to my room. I want to ask Harazi.
That's the full name.
What this means. Can we come back here? If we leave, can we
made it
just
here
visit?
once.
Yeah, but I didn't think about how to get back.
It's okay. We can figure it out. I'm sure Sphinxes are powerful. She sent you 1,000 years into the future. I'm sure she can manage halfway across a continent.
What if she misses?
Well, there's a lot of water and the fish people, so Pog will be bummed. But
Pog will hate that very much.
I want to go home too. I want to go back to my room. I want to say the incantation to Thora and everybody, just so, because that'll be weird. But you know that none of this changes anything, right? Like in terms of you and who you are. Like,
I have no idea what it changes
well, I mean, like,
or what it doesn't change.
I'm just trying to say
Or
that, like,
both?
it's interesting. Kitsune, like, they're real. Whoa. But, like, you're still Shade. Don't feel like you're not still Shade. Just because you've learned more information. It just adds to who you are. Doesn't subtract.
Subtracts the shifter part.
I mean, maybe it seems like Arj can shift a lot more than you could before. So, you know, still more.
That's true.
I hope you're going to be okay. And if you need
I
anything,
hope you're going to be okay too.
thanks. If there's anything I can do, just wake me up at 3 a.m. and let me know. It's a joke, Shade.
Never again.
I mean, never say never, but
Never again.
but if you need anything,
Because
Don't
y'all
hesitate.
do it.
yeah, we're your friends. I care about you.
I-
Like, what do you want me to do? Say no?
Yes. Yeah. Next time I wake y'all up at 3 a.m. to bring you to a place we don't know where it exists or what's going to happen. Yes. Y'all should say no.
Note taken. We'll maybe take a couple beats, think things through, and then make a more informed decision.
Right? That would have been a really good plan.
I mean, we did go to Arlo and ask him questions, but yeah, you're right. You're right.
We did get River.
Oh yeah,
We did
River?
help her.
Is that her name?
Oh. Gosh, it's been a long 3 days.
3 days.
Yep.
Blah.
Eric, do you still have inspiration from that pratfall you
I
did? Okay.
Okay. Wow. Do you want to go back in?
Sure.
If you don't, we can stay out here, but it seems like she's sorry for the circumstances. Seems like she didn't mean to mislead you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm mad at her. I may be mad at her, but I think it's a lot.
It's been a lot. It's been a very long afternoon for me. I haven't slept. It's just been one go. So
You should sleep. Okay, let's go back inside.
So, what does it power besides the decorations?
oh God.
Oh, well, the map, the chronometer, the temporal displacement field, the various defensive mechanisms, the cloaking device, the
Wait, go back.
forge,
Temporal
and
displacement
the-
field.
Yes. How do you think I moved people through time?
Oh, I don't.
Magic.
Okay. Temporal displacement field.
So we have a house. Well, we live in a house, and it has controls. It floats, and it can move around, and we don't really know how to control it.
That sounds dangerous.
Do you? Would you? Do you know? Is that? I mean, that sounds like maybe your sort of thing.
Do you want to come home with us?
Well, it would depend on whether your house was built by a sphinx.
Is there dirt on the ground?
Here?
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's sandstone. You can, if you really get a stick in there, you can carve.
Start carving up the house.
That's when
Boy,
Pog
does
re-enters
not
the
actually
room
have
and returns to
any
his
way
seat.
to do. Pog, you don't have paper, right?
What do you need?
No.
I was gonna draw what the controls look like. Maybe you'd understand them.
She puts a hand against the table, and a faintly glowing, translucent purple rectangle appears in the air above the table. Just use your finger.
All right, and
And as your finger traces, lines form on the rectangle.
what kind of
floating in
magic
the air.
is this?
That's very difficult to explain.
Sure. And he'll do his best to draw from memory what the control panel looks like.
It doesn't look shaped for one of my kind. We don't do chairs much. It could be that whoever made that studied something made by a sphinx, but it looks... It's different, but I see the resemblance that you are noting.
Any idea how we would go about figuring out how to use it other than just trying and perhaps blowing ourselves up or whatever?
Well, if the glyphs that form would correspond, if it's anything like what I have experience with, the glyphs that form would correspond to different abilities of the house, and so you could attempt to transfer those glyphs onto something else and see what it does.
Smaller scale.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting thought. Thank you.
You don't try to transport a person through time the first time. Start with a rock or something.
How do you know if it works?
It's not easy, but first you know whether it, incinerated. Eventually you work up to something that can tell you where it's been.
Like a skeleton named Wilkins.
But in more direct answer, you transport the rock and then you wait an hour and see if it appears.
Okay.
If it does, then it worked.
Do you want anything from Shade?
I want to do anything I can to help her. I failed the Kitsune once. And I have done what I can to make up for that.
How many
Over the
did you
years.
put in her time?
I didn't put them all in one time. That's the problem. I did not successfully transport them all together. They became scattered, both temporally and
Right.
geographically. So I don't
Do you
know,
know how many?
how many I transported all together. 3,000 or 4,000, I think. But I don't have any way of knowing. I understand that I could have managed still to place no two of them in the same year. and there would still be years left over. So, that sounds like a lot, but when we're talking about the span of time that we're talking about, it would be very... it would be impossible to know, for me to know, where in time particular ones ended up without meeting them.
How did you find Shade?
She was remembering this place in her dreams, and I detected her presence in the ruins when she was dreaming.
Dreams, man.
So you didn't call her. You found her.
I found her in the dream, and I told her to find me, which is what I have told all of them that I have found, because if I can, I wish to help them. I have found many who are in distress, don't understand what they are, where they are. Some who have clearer memories, which is, if anything, more troubling for them. To have a clearer memory of a time long before. Shade was young enough that she doesn't have much in the way of a memory of this place. But I transported many who were adults, who have very clear memory of their lives here, and then find themselves dislocated from all that they know by millennia.
Again, if you can add like 2 words to the message, I'm okay, come find me, still might make things just a little bit more clear.
Has anyone ever described you as pedantic?
Probably. Don't know if they've done it to my face.
I don't know the word, but the way you said it, all the time. All the time.
Do you know, is Arandis known to you?
I don't know anyone by that name.
She said something like, the me you meet won't have known you yet, or something like that. Very confusing time talk.
Interesting. Where did you meet her?
While dead.
Oh, well, that...
But she has a form of her that's not dead, or is at least undead. That might be an easier way to think about it. Is there an undead woman with wings walking around that you're aware of?
Here?
I think around. That wasn't very
There
clear
were
to me.
elves here once. Elves came after the Fae left. There were elves here for a time. Though most of them departed during their war against the giants. Most of them departed in Arin's exodus. I don't know one named Arandis, but people might have been here once. I suppose if she is undead, she might have been here.
Probably at this point, Ari and Shade return, I would imagine.
Sure. Yeah. Harazi looks up as Shade walks back in.
She says she can probably send us home.
It's good.
Oh, good. So, can we come back?
Would you want to?
I don't know. But I will. I do have a lot of questions, and so if I could come back, then I could go home and sleep and think of some questions and then come back and ask you. But if not, then I could just stay here for a little bit longer and ask you as many questions as I can think of.
I can bring you back. It isn't entirely simple. And I can't do it. Well, traveling back and forth from here, by any means, my understanding is that it is quite dangerous. I can arrange something that would allow you to return here, but this is a dangerous place, and so traveling here casually is not something I would recommend. Coming when you need something, yes. If you have questions, yes.
Could you all do the dream
Do
thing?
you wish to know? It is not an easy way of communicating.
Yeah, would there be a way to communicate not in nightmares?
There are arcane means of communication. They are limited in length and frequency. It is not easy to hold a conversation that way. Do you wish to know anything from me now? Do you need anything from me now? I wished to be of help to you, but obviously my ability to communicate into your limited memories was hindered.
Well, I have a lot of questions now. I don't know if Pog, Esri, Ari, do y'all want to be here? Do y'all want to go home and I'll just come back later?
I'll stick around.
No and yes.
Nope.
If you want to stay longer, fine with hanging out.
Esri, you want to go home and go home now?
Is that what I want? Yes. There appears to be a rather powerful cult here that would very much like me to die. Again.
A cult here.
The
I'm
Undying.
so sorry about that.
Elves,
The Undying
tattoo,
from
face.
Arenal. You encountered the Death Guard.
Sure. Not a big fan.
They weren't
That
very
sounds
formal
right.
on the introductions, but
That's where I got my armor.
I wondered about that. That will go over very badly. Please understand.
I've got a guy that should be able to fix it.
which bit? Sorry, the armor.
He's wearing armor that is probably 2,500 years old and has the names of everyone who's worn it. All of them are from the same family, and any member of that lineage, or probably any elf from Arenal, will probably try to kill him if they see him wearing it.
I think Forge will be able to take care of it.
It is a little bit as if Your grandfather had a lucky hat, and you saw someone walking down the street one day who had clearly dug up your grandfather's corpse and was walking around in his lucky hat.
This is slightly like it was if my grandpa murdered one of their friends and then they killed grandpa and took the hat off his dead body.
That's a big, long story to tell people that want to stab you in the face, though.
I can talk very quickly.
Not as fast as stabbing, though.
Depends how good his defense is.
Much better now.
So not as fast.
Told you what it is, and I will leave what you do with that information to
that information,
you.
Razi. If I can't get the names to go away, then I will get rid of the armor.
Armor aside, what is their deal?
They patrol old elven settlements, of which there are many in this continent, and I believe they particularly attempt to defend them against anyone coming to practice necromancy there, raising dead elves and that sort of thing. They're extremely opposed to the use of necromancy in general, but it is particularly offensive to them when it is used in places where their people once dwelt.
Is there a why?
Well, let us return to the previous counterfactual, except instead of your grandfather's hat, they're walking along with the animated corpse of your grandfather, who's carrying stuff for them.
But not his hat.
They seemed much more general than that. It wasn't
They don't like necromancy at all. The elves of Arenal in general do not approve of necromancy.
They seem to really dislike Ezri, though. Like he was knocked out and defenseless, and they just started stabbing him repeatedly.
It was awful.
Did he...
Full disclosure, I animated a skeleton.
Did he attempt to advise them on an area in which they are an expert and he is not?
Probably. I have a vague recollection of that conversation.
Usually.
All I
didn't have the urge to stab him, but I have had a lot of time to learn patience.
He said
with young people.
She said that Ezri is pediatric.
He is young.
Anyway, that is what the Death Guard are. I do not know what their particular problem was with you.
What about?
Other than that you raised one of their ancestors, apparently, as a skeleton.
Ari produces the sword that he took out of the giant's bag. Can you tell me anything about this? If it's just a sword, that's fine. I just wasn't. You seem very knowledgeable, which I appreciate.
It's very old. I would say probably elvish in make. I could analyze it further and tell you more if it is important.
No.
It would take time.
It's fine. Just checking. So Shade, are we hanging out for a while?
Do you have like rooms we could sleep in?
Yes, if you wish to.
I think my friends could really use a long sleep.
Very long sleep.
I was gonna say a little rest, but that was wrong.
She moves her paw and lays it on the table. And in Sylvan, Aj, would you bring our guests to the sleeping quarters? And after a little time, Arj walks in. Staying the night, are we?
Yep.
Do you have night here?
Yes, this is a manifest zone. You're in the material plane.
So it's the same
I'm
time
still very confused.
as our time.
Yeah.
Like time is same time
We're in Zendrick.
in this time.
Day and night pass here. It is the point. Yes, the sun will set here.
Why did we have to travel by tree if we're in the same plane area?
Where did you start?
Stormreach.
I think right now we're, my best guess, perhaps 3,500 miles from Storm.
That is a very long walk.
And yesterday we were a different place,
But we're still...
but we're still here.
I hate the jungle. I hate
Sorry,
it so
yes.
much.
Sorry.
Have you heard of?
It's not the jungle.
Locals call it the
It's
traveler's
this.
curse.
I hate this jungle, not jungles but this one
Aj,
is frustrating.
are you about to advise someone on a subject about which they're an expert?
I am an expert on travel in the jungle.
Well, so is she.
All right, then no. I'm about to talk to a fellow expert about travel in the jungle. Actually, what I'm about to do is lead you to a
Arj, do
sleeping
you all
tent,
have booze anywhere?
if you wish to go.
Wine, spirits, ale?
Booze.
Ah,
Probably. I think
If
so.
you want to lead me in that direction, that'd be much appreciated.
There's not a tavern.
Well, like a kitchen?
Well,
like
I mean, there were
dining room?
taverns. I could take you to a tavern, but it's empty, and everyone that was there has been dead for a long time.
Hey, aged wine is better, so if there's still any sealed bottles. Anyway.
Well, there's...
Why did you laugh at the end
Not.
of that?
Oh, well, I've been living in the city for a long time now, and you get used to it. Most of them stay dead, a few of them still wander around,
Not with Ezri around.
and, some of them are friendly and some of them aren't, but you get used to it.
All right.
Okay.
Bedroom.
Overnight guests, first ones. Oh, golly, what a day. He leads you aloft.
ever?
He said the,
The
thing.
first
He said the
ones?
thing. That's DM gets
said it.
inspiration.
Right.
Ari's going to pull out his new lute and start doing his best Alan Adale.
So,
So Shade stays with Harazi? Or is Shade going to sleep as well?
oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and send my friends to sleep.
Okay. Does everyone go?
Yes.
Okay. Arj leads you out of the room, and we'll come back to that here in a moment. Shade, you are left alone with Sphinx.
Yep. So what does it mean that I'm Fae?
Well, my Arj says he doesn't like the touch of iron very much. I don't know whether that's universal, but that's at least his experience. He doesn't much care for the touch of iron. It means that, to a certain degree, Thalanis will seek to draw you to itself. Certain magics that move you between the planes will tend to draw you to. There are magics that can force someone out of a plane, and when used on a Fey creature, they will inevitably send you back to Thalanis.
Oh. Okay.
You will live longer than most mortals. Kitsune have very varied lifespans, but you can probably expect to live for 100 years or more.
That is many more than I was expecting.
You can turn into a fox.
Yeah, how do I do that?
You should ask Arj. I've never done it.
I will ask him.
You'll discover that you have a innate resistance to magical charms. And
That's kind of cool.
that you are somewhat capable of some small illusory magics.
I'm going to play tricks on Ezri.
As I understand, the fox people, that is something that they have usually taken joy in.
Oh, I am just a stereotype already?
No, it's a dog walked down the hallway, sniffed at my door, and then decided to lay down against the door, which is what that loud thump was. Perhaps think of it as you're remembering games you played.
Guess if you have the magic, you would use it.
There you are. Beyond that, you're not inherently that different from a mortal. You're just have some additional abilities and possibly some additional aversions. Again, I don't know if you've had much contact with iron or if you've ever felt a dislike for it, but if you found that you don't much like things made of iron, then that's why. It doesn't seem to hurt ours, he just doesn't like it.
Oh.
It's also... I'm very good at noticing, usually, but it is also just possible that he's making that up.
I tried to tell if he was lying earlier, and I'm getting...
It's very hard.
I'm getting much better at it, and I could not tell.
It's very hard. I am not sure why, but it's something in his face always seems to be smirking.
Do you have friends?
I am in communication with another Sphinx. There is one more that I know of in this time. He is in a city called Sharn. I think I said she is in a city called Sharn. Sorry.
I think we read about that recently.
Her name is Flamewind. She's a teacher of some kind.
We did! Ari is teaching me to read, and I'm much better at Natum. But sometimes we look at newspapers.
It's a good skill to have. The Fae mostly tell stories. They don't write very many things down. Songs
I
and
do not
tales
write a
and
lot.
poetry.
I do not enjoy
Well,
it.
that would come of not having learned to read. Probably more than any inherent dislike you have of it as a Fae.
Okay.
The people here told stories, but didn't write them down much. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Is there anything you can do to help me?
I don't know what you need, Shade. You are better off than many that I've spoken to. You've found a place for yourself. You identified with a group of people. You didn't realize you were different, and I hope you will not resent that I have revealed it to you.
I don't think I'll resent you. I don't know about the information yet.
Very well.
The last 2 years have been very good. Weird, but very good. We have a home, and we are good friends, and we're there for each other. And actually, I know we're family now because we're willing to kill for each other. And that's what family is. And so
Murder means Ohana.
I thought family meant living your life a quarter mile at a time.
It means you do anything for 'em.
And but everything up until the last 2 years, they were not good. Yeah. But much better now. Much better now. And I don't think that this changes any of that. And if it does, I will be very upset about it.
All right.
Is there... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is there any sort of innate power over mortals that I have now because I'm from here or I'm Fae? Because I would very much like that.
No, I'm afraid not. If you learn to use the magic inherent in you, all Fae have inherent magic to them. If you learn to use it, you may find yourself particularly adept at potentially deceiving them, which can be useful.
Yeah, that would be great.
Just like a kitsune.
Do you need things? I have many things left over from here. Are you in need of anything?
You know what I don't have, but would maybe be very helpful? Is something... Did you say gold? Shade does not see that as helpful.
I'm just saying, the next time it's brought up that I have not given you guys enough loot, you just consider the elvish artifacts that you walked away from lying on the ground that any antiques dealer would have given you a year's wages for. Proceed.
Shade would... I could really use... If you had anything that was, like, protective... Our new life is great, but also we get in a lot of dangerous situations. A lot. But I don't like heavy things because I like to be able to move quickly and quietly.
Come here.
Okay.
She rises again, all of her motions very fluid and cat-like. She stands up, her wings kind of stretch a little bit and then fold on her back again. And she walks you to a space under the overhang and gestures with her paw, not exactly point, but gestures with her paw to a a spot on the floor where a small ring a few feet in diameter begins to glow. Stand there for a moment.
Okay.
And once you stand there, the ring separates from the floor and floats up around you and into the ceiling and then back down. And Hirazi lays her paw on an inclined section of the wall, which begins to glow with various glyphs. Let's see. Something for one of the forest folk. All right. And there is a low, the vague, very slight vibration of this place that has been entirely background to you becomes stronger and thrums for a moment. And then a section of the wall slides open, and a small stone of the wall then slides forward out of the opening, and lying on it is an amulet that is roughly diamond shaped with an emerald stone set in it.
That is
Put that
very
on.
pretty.
Put it on and lay your hand on the stone and just press a little and how to describe it. Desire armor. And expanding out from the amulet, wrapping around and back over your shoulders, as well as extending down across your chest and around, and then back around your abdomen. It looks almost like leaves grow really, really rapidly, like big, long leaves grow, wrap themselves around you, and once they've formed, you feel them stiffen, and they turn a bronzy color.
That is very cool.
And then, thank you. I thought the leaves would be good.
I like it a lot.
Good. It should be quite protective of you. I hope that will serve well. If you would like, you can. If you lay your hand on that stone and you think very hard about this place, it will bring you here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
It won't be able to do it all the time. By which I mean, once you do it, it will take a while for the magic to build itself back up.
I thank you for this and the information. I think I made you feel bad, and that's not what I was trying to do.
Shade, I have... It's very hard to explain my feelings.
Right?
Yes. Yes. You did not cause me to... The only thing that you caused me to feel was a sense of relief that I had found another.
If you ever want to come to Stormreach, we have a really cool island.
We'll keep that in mind, but I am very cautious about being where there are many people.
Me too. I think I'm going to join my friends now. But maybe I'll have questions
Very
in the
well.
morning.
Very well. You are provided with downstairs a long room with several beds in it. Arj leaves you there with some food and a bottle of wine that he has, and leaves with you. Are we going to sleep?
Cal's
Pog's
such a
just gonna
troublemaker.
touch- Pog, having no real sense of distance, just knows that it's a lot of miles away. He's just going to put his hand to his chest to make sure Thora can't hear him through the communication. The Thora?
I tried that after
Nothing.
Ezri got stabbed a whole bunch.
Yes, Thora here. Hi.
It's... Yeah.
I'm not playing with him right now.
Has Shade come in?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Shade comes down into the room.
You know, Shade, if you can turn into a fox, you can ride Cal.
How'd the talk go?
I would have to ask Cal that would be okay, though.
How'd it go?
I asked questions and she answered, so I think that's good. Oh, wait, watch this.
Whoa! Holy crap! That's awesome!
Wow.
I know, she asked me what I wanted, and I said I wanted armor, and then I got that. So maybe we should think of more things that we want.
Did you ask for like more than one?
Nope.
Oh. Because some of us probably could also use that pretty well.
I told her I may have more questions in the morning.
Like, what other stuff can I have?
She's been pretty clear that she's got a thing about helping one particular one of you.
Just tell her you need like so much stuff. You're legitimately like really poor.
I am really poor, but I also sleep in a hammock on a balcony. I don't...
Exactly.
What am I doing with money if I have it?
It's fair. It's
Well-
a fair point.
You will have it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's gonna go any better than that moment, Shade. I think that's as good as talking to him will be with.
Arj brought us food if you want some, Shade. And wine
I
if
am
you want some
hungry.
of that as well. But
He sure didn't offer that to me.
you were
before she
literally
got
here when Arj brought it in,
Don't forget
you
your
goober.
staff berries.
What are you talking about? Ari,
I did forget about staff berries.
staff berries.
I'm sorry, Ari.
It's okay.
What?
At Pog's little aside, Ari casts minor illusion, and you hear the crackled voice of Thora coming through his communicator.
Oh,
You don't sound
Hi,
very
Thora.
good. Are you okay?
It's the distance. I needed to tell you, your feet smell. That's how you mess with him.
it's true.
That was me, Pog. I'm just messing around. I'm gonna go sleep now.
Pog walks to the corner and lays down.
Still true.
Good night, Pog.
Pog.
Good night, Shade.
No, yeah, you're supposed to like all
Good
say
night,
it
Ezri.
to each other, and then you say it 12 times or something like that. No,
Good
that's
night,
not-
Arj.
That's right. 24 times?
Ezri,
How many times do you have to
stop.
say
Go to sleep.
Ezra, you should really get some sleep.
it? 4, 3, that's 10.
Wait, we need to get to sleep before Ezri, so he doesn't do his weird sleep mutter demonic thing. So Ezri, yeah, you give us a 15-minute lead in.
Eventually, you all drift
Principal.
off into sleep and get a long rest.
What?
In the morning, most of you wake to, if Casey's fine with me setting a scene here, to find Shade gone. Shade is outside, and Arj is talking with her. They're walking around in the green space around the tower, and Arj is saying, well, you see, the trick of it is you have to think like a fox. And so what I found, that I find useful, is when it's difficult to shift, and then sometimes, depending on how connected we are to Thalonis as the manifest zone wanes and waxes, I find it harder. But when I want to turn into a fox, and it's difficult, I find that I imagine that I would really, really like to rob a chicken coop. I try to imagine the desire for eggs, for that, and the mischievous glee of it. And he's turned into a fox while he's talking, and then he blinks and pops back up into fox form. Yes. So, and it doesn't have to be actually like a fox. It's what your idea of a fox is. So whatever you think foxes think about, try to put yourself into that mind space, and you'll find it just comes.
Okay. Shade tries by thinking about playing the illusion tricks on Ezri.
Roll a wisdom check.
Ooh. 8.
You feel your tail bristle some, but you look around and you're not a fox yet.
Fine, I'll try the chicken coop thing.
Roll another wisdom check.
14.
You imagine yourself stealing quietly into a coop past the sleeping chickens, slipping up into an unoccupied nest and making off with an egg, laughing hysterically at the fun of it. And when you open your eyes from concentration, you are looking at Arj's shins. And the world looks different, and you realize that you're on all fours. And this is where you all come out. You see Shade suddenly drop down into fox form.
Hey.
Can I talk as a fox?
You absolutely can.
What
did
does
it.
the
I'm
fox
a
say?
fox.
Yeah.
The fox says I'm a fox. Right?
That's
You see that
awesome.
too.
Indeed, you are. Well done.
That was pretty good teaching. I've paid a lot of attention to teaching recently. And you did that very well.
Happy to be of help.
Hog walks over to
How do
Fox,
I go back?
shade, and
That's
holds
easier.
out a
You
fist.
Little fox paw.
Yes.
That's easier. You just think about how it just feels to be you, just the way you normally feel.
Okay.
And you reappear as your former normal shape. You reappear as Shade with fox ears.
So I can do that now, guys.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
You have a lot of control over how you wish to appear to us. Well, you have a certain amount of control. I don't know what it means to learn that you can do this as an adult. So, play around with it. See what it feels like, and it will be easier when you are farther away from the manifest zone.
We'll play around.
Speaking of being farther away from the manifest zone,
Subtle.
can we be that?
Well, I certainly can't send you back.
I wasn't asking.
I mean, it's that way, and his arm is slightly moving a little bit.
How many
every
miles
couple of
away are we
seconds.
today?
Let's see, Stormridge is the nearest city right now, so you're 1,683 miles from it.
Closer. Less of a walk today.
That's
Shade, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are y'all ready?
yes.
Yes.
I'm good.
You know he's making that up. And a large humanoid brown bear
Hey, Yorn.
walks down from the upper part of the tower.
You were lying to
How
us?
He
do
can't
No.
actually tell you how far away he is.
How do you tell when he's lying?
Oh, you know him for a long time.
Well,
Spoil sport.
Arj, Yorn, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all for your help.
Visit anytime.
Nope.
Thank you for the invite. If you all ever
Returning down into the tower.
I
if
will
you all
probably
find
be-
yourself in Stormreach, feel free to come calling.
Oh, it's so
We're the
far.
giant floating island.
Yep,
That is interesting.
it is. It's a big house.
It's
You
actually tiny for an island, but
Pediatric.
returning down into the room, you find Harazi. Did he help?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
What? And she poofs into a fox.
Gonna take getting used to.
Very well. Very well done. I infer from your looks that you're ready to go home.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Very well.
Please.
Over here. She walks you up onto the upper landing and gestures to a space in one corner where a large glowing circle begins to go.
Grimalkin Manor, Floating Island Way, Stormreach, 67304.
Did you just make up
Right.
numbers?
That's our zip code.
those numbers have no meaning at all.
It's how do you think mail
I mean,
gets?
what's a zip code?
It doesn't.
You can see that she's on the verge of saying something kind and in farewell, and as you all just banter, she just nods and touches her paw
Thank you.
to the ground. The circle rises, and you see yourself disappear as the circle rises up your torso.
Ah!
And looking down as that starts to happen, you can see through the glowing circle the floor of the dining hall at Grimalkin appearing gradually around you. And as the circle goes up past
Thanks for
your
at
field
least
of
not
vision,
being evil.
you are there. There are several children in the hall. A number of tables are overturned. The place is a bit of a mess. Thora is standing, leaning against a chair, looking frazzled. And she whirls around, and you see an energy blade appear in her hand, and then she sees that it's... Well, which form of shade are you right now?
I was a fox when
It's Ezri Pog, a strange dude wearing elf armor, and a fox.
Oh, I didn't
She
get to talk
sees-
to Ari. Ah,
She recognizes Ezri and Pog at the very least, and says, "Where have you been for the last week?"
The what?
we.
And we'll pick up there next week.
They said time was the same
Thank you all
time.
so much. They said you were on the same plane.
I
And that
asked
there was
what
day
I
and night.
asked.
And they said what they said.
And I was cut short.
Lying foxes.
Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Khyber Shards. Down below, you will find links to all of our social media and our Discord and our merch store and Colin's Twitch, where he is sorry VTR. The O is a 0. While you're looking at all those fancy links, click some of them buttons down there around the engagement stuff. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this whole just super strange and dense encounter that was so many more things than I designed it to be, but I thought was awesome. So I hope you did too.
The lack of comments
New episodes of Khyber Shards.
on my play just makes me think that you think I play perfectly. So
There you go. Obviously.
if you don't comment, you must think I play perfectly.
New episodes of Khyber Shards every Monday. New Khyber Shards answers every Friday. You can submit questions for Khyber Shards in the comments or over on our Discord. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.